What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Dinul Perera and I'm a software engineering undergraduate of Java Institute, and I recently started making YouTube videos to share what I learned in the software engineering field. So it's been like 5 or 6 months since I started learning programming, about programming and robotics. So I want to share what I learned with the world, so I started this YouTube channel. So if you are someone who's interested in the software engineering field, you can click on that subscribe button and hit that bell icon, so you will be notified by the latest content of this channel. So recently I started making these web programming and database management video questions. So today we have question number 22 of the database management video series. So let's go and check it out, shall we? So if you guys have been in touch with us from question number 16, you'll know that this is the seventh part of the main question number 16 we have discussed in video number 16. So this is question number 22. So let's check out the question one by one. Okay. So the first question asks. So this is also a type of question where you have to answer in the form of queries. You can use sub-queries, but in this case I'm going to use join queries in Access because I haven't discussed about join queries in the last video. So I thought of doing the queries in the form of join queries. So I'm going to do the questions one by one using the queries. So for the first question, I'm going to write a query to find the details of the students who participated in the single subject in the examination held on 2020 3rd, that means March, and I'm supposed to find the examination date is 15. So I'm just going to share the screen like this. This is my ADSQL browser. So I'm supposed to find all the details of the students who participated for the single subject in the examination held on 2020 3rd 15. So first what I'm going to do is select all from exam_marks_db dot. This is the data table which has all the marks. So if you have the marks right here, that means all these students have participated for the exams here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the students table, and the subject table, the student table, the subject table, and the exam term table. So it's better if I also connect the class table because it is also a detail of the student. Okay. So I'm going to join four tables to this main table. So select all from this table which is in a join to exam_marks_. First I'm going to link the student table on. Now I'm going to enter the condition student exam mark report dot student ID. I'm supposed to include the brackets between braces, so it should be equal to the index number of the student table. Okay. Now once I run this query, it gives me the whole table, but with also the student table connected to it. Now I'm going to again inner join. Next I'm going to inner join the subject table. exam_marks_db dot the subject table, the subject table, the condition is the subject ID, subject underscore ID should be equal to the subject ID of the subject table. Okay. Now I also have all the subjects right here. I have the subjects right here. I have all three subjects. You have three subjects to learn, and here once I join another table, inner join, I am going to join the term table. Before that, it's better if I connected the student table here. Now I am going to also join the class table here, because you can get the class of the particular student there itself. Inner join exam underscore marks underscore db dot class on student exam mark record dot that is dot student dot the class ID in student table should be equal to the class ID of the class table. So here should be another inner join. Now once I run this, I also get the class of a particular student. Here you have the class ID and the class name. Here the class ID and the class name. So now I have connected the subject table. I have connected the subject table with this condition. Now I have the subject table. Next I have to connect the exam term table. The term ID should be equal to, I have right the table, this column should be equal to this. So let's check this one. So here now I have also the term table connected to it. The exam term table which I connected, I also connected this to the main table. So I have connected four queries here. As you can see, you have the main table. So I'll just take this down. So you have four inner joins. That means you have joined four tables. So now what I have to do is I have to find only the details of the student. So I'll just write the columns that I need. I have to include the index number of the student, the first name, then the last underscore name, and the gender, the contact number. Actually the contact number is not that much of importance, but the class is important. Class underscore name, and then I'll include the yeah, actually that should be all. First I think I'll just get all the entries, then I'll filter the columns that I need. So now according to the question asked only for the singular subject, and which was held on 2023-15. So just write here where the subject name, it should be right now here, the subject name, the subject underscore name should be equal to, just paste this here, should be equal to this. So now I have all the students who sat for Sinhala language, but now I need only the students who sat for the singular subject on this exam date. I don't know whether it's first term or second term, but we have to check. And exam date, exam underscore date should be equal to, now I have been given the date, this date. And once I run the query, now I have all the details of the students who sat for singular language, which is for this term test. Actually that was the first term, so now I have to write only the tables that I need. So I will just write first name, then I'll need the last underscore name, then the gender, and the class. So I'm just going to select the most common details. That means sometimes every student may not have a contact number. Now in this case they have, but I'm just going to exclude that one because when you specify a student, these are the most essential facts. So once I run this query, now I only have the details of the students only. So that's the end of the first question. So first question is done. Now let's move on to the second one. So I'll just do this query. So in the next one, I am supposed to find the details of the student Sandun Vijayaratna, and I am supposed to find his marks. That's one. So the exam date was this. That's the data. So then I'm also asked to find the date of the examination, the term, and also the number of participants. That's 4. Number of admissions. That's 4, and the name 5, and the name of the subject, that's 6. So I'm supposed to find 6 details. So let's check out how I'm going to do that. So according to this, I'll just repeat the join queries. So once I run this query, we have to exclude this one. So now I have all the details of the general table which has all the marks. Now I am going to connect this to the student table, the subject table, the exam table, and that's it. So I am not asked the class of the student, so I am not going to connect the class table. So I'll need the exam term table and the subject table, and also the student table. So just inner join this one, inner join exam underscore marks underscore db dot. First I'll connect the student table on student underscore marks underscore db dot. The index number should be equal to the student ID of the student table, index number of the student table. So now I have connected the student table. So next I'm going to inner join the subject table. Subject table. So you don't put it in your presence. Inner join the subject table on the condition student exam mark record subject ID should be equal to the subject ID of the subject table. Subject ID of the subject table. Now once I run this query, now I have all the subjects as well. Last but not least, I am going to connect the exam table also. So now I completed the query from the by connecting the exam table. So then I have the exam term table connected to this as well. Then what I am supposed to do is I am supposed to extract the details of this student and the exam date. So I have only two conditions given to me, that is the name of the student and the date of the exam. So now I am going to write the condition where first underscore name is Sadun, and the last underscore name should be equal to Vijay Ratna. Should be E, I think here. Yeah, it's an E. So once I run this query, so you get all the details of this student. But that's not all. I also need I am also specified the date also. So exam underscore date should be 2020 March 15. Now I have all these details. Now I need the specifications. I have these specifications. I am supposed to find the mark. Then first I'll also include the name also. First underscore name, comma, last underscore name, comma, the mark, and and also the date of the examination. Exam underscore date, exam underscore date, the term name, the term underscore name, term underscore name, the name of the student and the name of the subject. Subject underscore name. So I will discuss query. So now I have all the details of the specific student. The student's first name is Sadun, last name is Vijayratna, and the exam date is 2020 March 15. So these details are given to us, but we are supposed to find the mark, the term name, and the subject name only. So that's the end of the second question. So let's move on to the third and fourth. So moving on to the third question. In the third question, I am supposed to find the name, the subject, the marks, term of the examination, and date of the students who obtain marks between 40 and 70 in the subject of mathematics held on this date. So this is a different examination, and I'm specified the subject of the and I'm specified the subject, and I'm supposed to, and they have given a range of marks that I'm supposed to find the values. So first I'll join all the tables, then I'll filter all the details. So first what I have to do is I have to select all details from exam underscore marks underscore db dot the marks table. So these are all the details of the students who got the marks, and then I'm going to join these tables. Join exam underscore marks underscore db from db dot the student table. Have they specified the students? I'm specified the students because I am also asked the name of the specific student on the student underscore mark the student index should be equal to the index number of the student table. So now I have joined the student table right here. Then I'll also join. So when you are joining a table, you must specify the database in which the table is present. That is the exam underscore marks underscore db dot. I'm joining this with and joining the main table with the subject table on the subject underscore id of this table should be equal to the subject ID of the subject table. So I'll execute this. Now I also have the subjects. Then I'll also connect the exam term also. Exam underscore marks underscore db dot the exam table on. So the student underscore marks underscore record table, when you consider that table, you can select the term column, and that should be equal to the exam term ID of the exam table. So it should be equal to the term ID of the exam table. So once I run this query, I get the exam table connected to the main table. So now I need the specifications. Now I need to filter out the marks of the students between 40 and 70. So I'll just first I'll filter the subject, then I'll filter the exam term, then I'll filter the marks. So where mark is between 40 and 70. So the marks are between 40 and 70. All the marks are between 40 and 70. And I'll just filter out the marks later. Now first I have to filter out the subject, where subject underscore name should be equal to mathematics, and exam underscore date should be equal to (2020 0710) I think. Yeah. So once I run this query, I get all the details of the students who sat for. I think that's the second term. Yes, when you set I'm supposed to find the marks of the students who sat for mathematics paper on the second term. So now what I have to do is I have to filter out the marks and mark between 40 and 70. Okay. Now I have all the details of the students who sat for mathematics for the second term and who got the marks between 40 and 70. Now I have to find, now I have specified only these details: the name, the subject, the marks, the term, and also the date. So let's run that really quick. So I'm supposed to find, so name means I have to find both the first name and the second name. That means last name, last underscore name, comma, the subject, subject underscore name, then the marks, the term, and the date. term underscore name. So I don't need to specify the table name of the specific column because already I have connected all the tables and got one main table. So I am supposed to print out the details out of that table. So I just have to write the columns which are already there. So term name and the term date. So just refer the exam term table. It says exam date, not the term date. Exam date. So once I run this query, I get the first name and last name. That means the name, and also the subject name, the marks, and the term name and the exam date. So that's what they asked us to do. So next, the last one is who is the highest scoring student in the first term out of all the subjects. So now, if you can remember, I did the same question in one of the previous videos, but in this case I am supposed to use only join queries. So exam underscore marks underscore db dot this table. First I'll get all the details of this table, then I'm going to join inner join exam underscore marks underscore db dot the student table. I have to connect the student table. I have to give the condition where the index number of this table, the student index number of this table should be equal to the index number of the student table. Now I have connected the student table, then I have to also join so now what I have to do is I have to inner join it with the subject table. So since they are asking the highest scoring student, when you see that detail, when I finally get that detail, the person should be able to get his final mark and the specific subject and the term and all those details. So now I'm going to connect the subject table. Inner join the subject table on the condition that the subject ID of this table should be equal to the subject ID of the subject table. Okay, so now I have connected the subject table. Then what I have to do is also inner join the term table. This should be the term table. When you are specifying a column, you should include it in gray brackets. Should be equal to the term ID of the exam term. Okay. So next, it's better if you also join the class table to this column. Inner join the exam underscore marks underscore db dot the class table on the condition student dot the class underscore class ID should be equal to the class ID of the class table. Okay. Now what I have to do is I'll just open another query to find the highest mark. So select all from exam underscore marks underscore db dot the marks table. So now I have all the marks. So now what I have to do is now I have to find the maximum mark. So I'll just use the maximum function, maximum mark. So this is the maximum mark. So I'll just copy this. Then I have to write, I have to go here where the mark should be equal to. So here I am using, as I am using a subquery, I must include this, include the subquery within brackets. So I just copy this here. So now I am getting all the details of the student who got the highest mark. So now these are all the details. I have all the details from the student index number to the exam date. So but I only need some of the details. I'll just select my own details as they haven't given me in the question. So I'll just select the first number, first name, the last name, and the mark, the class name, and the term name, and also the subject name. I'll just include that here. And also the exam date. Better if we include the exam date as exam underscore date. So now this is the overall answer. You have the first name, the last name, the subject name, the mark of the student, the class name, the term name, and also the exam date. So these are all the details of the student. These are all the required details of the student who got the highest mark for the first term. So here they have specified us to find the student who scored for the first term. So I'll just include here another condition, and the term name should be equal to first term. So whether you write this or not, you get this answer because the student also got the highest mark for first term. So but in case if you don't, if the highest mark was scored in the second term, you can specify it here. So it's better to write this condition as well. So once I run this query, you get the same answer. So this is the query for the last question. So that's the end of question number 4 of the question number 22 database management question. So I'll see you guys in the next video, that is question number 23 of the database management video series. So see you guys then. Bye guys.